Hello and welcome along to, well, I hope is a useful and informative vlog for those who like to travel, on a budget and travel light, which is what I do. So my intention is to give you some of my hints and tips that hopefully will mean you could travel with carry-on baggage on an aeroplane, which makes it all cheap, and not spend too much money when you're in a hotel. So here's tip number one. Yes, there's a sock hanging on something. That's basically my curtain in my hotel room. And what I do is, if I'm traveling for say 7 or 8 days, I bring like 3 days worth of clothes and some travel wash, and I wash them in the sink and wring them out. Then I drip dry them in the bathroom, and when they're not dripping, I bring them into the room and I clip them with a hair clip onto the curtain in front of the window where there's sun, so that they dry. If it's something bigger, I hang it on a hanger and hook it over the top of the curtain. And if you leave things there like that in the sun all day, they dry really, really quickly. The other thing I do with these hair clamps is, if curtains don't close properly in the middle, I get my hair clamp and I put it on, and then you don't get any light coming through the curtain. So there you go. That's my first 2 tips, and I'll be back with more very soon. Right, so here we go with tip number 2. What you see before you is a little pump and a vacuum bag and some Ziploc bags. So, as I said, I like to travel light. I have a little suitcase so that I can go on planes with carry-on luggage, which not only makes the flight cheaper, but then it's much quicker when you're getting off the plane. You don't have to go and wait for baggage. But to make that happen, you need to maximise your space. So what I do is I buy these vacuum bags. You can get them pretty much anywhere, and they're only a couple of quid, and they come with a little twisty off thing. And then what you do is you buy one of these, which was only about, sorry, my thumb is in the corner. This was only about £5 off Amazon, and it extracts the air from the bag. So you just unscrew that, pop that on top, and then pump away, and it takes all the air out and shrinks your clothes right down so that you can get a lot more in. And then also, I'm very lazy when it comes to organising things. When I get to a hotel, I just want to go. So I have a variety of these little Ziploc bags, and then what I do is I'll put, say, toiletries in one, electrical stuff like leads and batteries in another, and then when I get to the hotel, I can just go, right, that goes in that room, that goes in that room, that goes in that room, boom, done. Fold the plastic bags up and off you go. So there you go. There's a couple of packing tips for you. Hopefully you don't think I'm insane, and they are useful. I'll be back with more soon. Okay, are we ready for tip number 3? So you're away, you're on holiday, you get the occasional takeout meal. And when you get that, you get all these little sachets, don't you, of ketchup and mustard and mayonnaise and pickle. And then you think, what am I going to do with those? I haven't used them all. Well, what I do is I go to a grocery store and get a cheap loaf of bread. And then generally you've probably got a few leftovers, like, I don't know, some chicken or some beef or whatever you had left over from your meal. So I use the leftovers, the bread and the condiments, and make myself a nice sandwich. Also, the other thing I sometimes do is bring a little sandwich toaster with some greaseproof paper in it so the stuff doesn't stick. So then you could actually do that and put it in your sandwich toaster and have a nice hot sandwich. I also found that if you have any leftover French fries, if you wrap those in greaseproof paper and put those in a sandwich toaster, they not only come out hot, they come out really crispy. There you go. Use up all your leftovers. You're welcome. Oh, before I go away from my little tub of condiments, there was something else I was going to say about that. Sorry, I forgot. If you're travelling on a plane and you get the meals, sometimes they can be very bland. In the olden days, because I am quite old and I remember these things, they used to give you salt and pepper to go with your food, and they don't anymore. So I always collect all my condiments and my salt and pepper, so that if I get on a plane and the meal's a bit bland, you got something to add to it. There you go, waste nothing. I'll be back with more soon. Got one more handy hint for you when you're travelling. Hopefully these are useful and you don't think they're the ramblings of a lunatic, but they're things that save me money when I go away. So, might save you money. Okay, this is my last one. So in here, I've got a load of ice because every hotel has an ice machine, right? I've got a spare sink in this room, but if you've got dual sinks, or even if you're not using your bath so much, you could do that, although that would be a lot of ice. Anyway, if you've got a spare sink, what I bring with me is some good old Tupperware, because sometimes you have leftover food, like say meat or whatever, in a carton that's like not wooden, cardboard, which would go soggy if you put it in ice. So at the moment this is fruit and it's in a plastic box, but if you have something, you can put it in your Tupperware and then put it in your sink with ice, so that if the room gets hot and you've got something that could go off, you can keep it nice and chilled without it going all soggy. Anyway, that's the last of what I consider to be handy hints. You might think they're insane, but if they help you with your travels and save you money, you're welcome. Over and out.